Hello and welcome to session 4 of Academy of the Blade, of what is going to be the first arc of this. We're going to come back to this a little bit down the road with these characters. But we are wrapping up sort of the first arc, which is appropriate given that Utena itself is broken up into these arcs. And we've just consolidated. We've taken out like the cowbell episode to focus in on the core things.
We have to remedy that, but
right.
Yeah.
Well, there. So if you're watching this is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him. And we're going to go and check in with all of our PCs right now on their entanglements, whether they are happy with those entanglements and connections, or whether they need to make any adjustments to those. I'm going to start with, let's see, I'm going to start with Cass. Cass, are you good with your entanglements? A lot happened with you last time. Are you still good with those?
So I actually do want to rewrite my romantic entanglement because so definitely there are things that are happening. Let's see. I think that I need to think about it a little bit, but it's going to definitely center around, I maybe, something along the lines of I'm orchestrating a mutually beneficial relationship with Brandon in order to take advantage of the others, but maybe my feelings are more than just professional, something like that.
Yes, I think that's appropriate and good fuel. Good. So with your general?
Yeah, I'm going to leave the general as it is.
Okay. And it looks like you got an advance last time?
I did. I still have to pick how I'm going to advance. So.
Okay. Let's come to Johnny, our Prince of Nothing. Are you good with your entanglements?
I still like my first entanglements. I feel like we're still pushing on that.
Oh yeah.
The second one, I'm not sure. I sort of feel like we answered the question of why she's still pushing on Kamal last time.
We could certainly do something related to the chairman. The chairman dropped some hints and things, or we could play around with the school stuff. Do you want to think about that for a little bit?
Yeah, I still want it to be linked to Scarlet in some way. I'll think on that for a minute.
Well, and I'll tell you what, let's start today. We'll start with a Scarlet Johnny scene today as well to help maybe fuel that a little bit.
And just let you know, I tweaked the wording on just the new kid, the move I picked up from another playbook before, to sort of more reflect what's going on with Johnny. So it's when you ask someone a pointed question while feigning memories you don't have.
Ooh,
instead
I like
of
that.
ignorance.
It's nice. So delicious. And then that brings us over to Scarlet. You are muted.
Muted. Yes. It's important that I start the session off that way. So my entanglements, Johnny Wynn is still my heart. I will never be able to deny that because he is in fact, yes, he is my heart. My heart is thrashing and raging and full of fury at the unfairness of it all. But I think that I have to change the other part of it. So I'm trying to decide on that. I have Rudra and Kem are both more attentive, but it just don't feel the same. Is that an entanglement or is that an insufficient? Okay.
And it does this bring us then the question of your general entanglement?
No.
I'll
Let's
also
see
point
here.
out, just
Yes.
for everyone's reference here, I can see that a number of you have no bonds. Don't forget that the comfort and support
Oops.
action can be done in between scenes to try and generate additional bonds. And if we're between scenes, you have a little bit of downtime, you can always say, I am resting to recover and clear an element here in the time between. So,
Let's see here. And so for the general one, I may keep Kim up there, but whether he's gearing to challenge me to another tool is sort of up in the air. I think that I want to put that he has shown me some of the workings of the school, but he knows something about Johnny. I need to find out what's going on with that.
okay.
So
Yeah, so it is primarily taking out the is gearing up clause there. Okay.
yeah, he's made it clear that he may have to duel me, right? So,
All right. And it doesn't look like you got an advance last time, but you
no.
are pretty close to that. And that brings us to Takahiro, the Herald of Snakes. How are you with your two entanglements?
So I'm okay with my general, but I decided to rewrite my romantic one because I started bullying Johnny. So I think that's a sign that, that the friend zone has disappeared.
Oh, I think that's absolutely appropriate. Yeah.
So I rewrote it too. I love Brandon, but I need to change for him. I don't realize I'm falling for Johnny, who hates Brandon. Yeah. So, but my general is still good. It's still. I feel protective of Cass, and I angered someone dangerous, Miss Jasper. She gives me the creeps.
And I think you got an advance last time.
Yes, but I'm saving it in case I need to duel to offer it to someone. I've been thinking.
Ooh. That's quite a tasty offer there that you put on the table.
Yes, exactly.
So a few things that are on the table from last time that we want to remind. There is a shortened, abridged, abbreviated performance of Hamlet being performed by our group, as other dorms, classes will be performing other things, but right now the Hamlet is the most important one right now, including a special Ophelia scene that was set up by our Ophelia off last time. There is, of course, Johnny's demonstration with the chairman that will happen. Cass has challenged Scarlet to a duel, and that will have to happen. Related Cass note: Cass is overseeing quietly, but is definitely overseeing the disciplinary hearing for potential expulsion of Takahiro. Brandon is Takahiro's advocate for this, but that still remains out there, the possibility that Takahiro might get expelled. And of course, we had Kim's somewhat change of heart now, fascination with Scarlet that sort of appeared on the scene. Anything else big I missed? Sherry?
No. It was all very smooth little episode. No one had their feelings hurt or away from their very best friend. Okay. Yeah.
So we take up the last big visual scene we would see in the sort of the montage of previously on. I think has to be the limousine driving away with us seeing Brandon and Cass seated in the back as it drives away into the night. Both of them, dressed to the nines, and the rest of you sort of watching that happen. So Johnny and Scarlet, let's do a scene. We can do one, in the immediate aftermath of that, or we can go to a classroom scene a little bit down the road. Johnny, do you have strong feelings about that?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. What about for you, Scarlett? Shall we cut forward to you and Johnny in the classroom, sort of in the aftermath of all this the next day?
Certainly. I think, of course, that we would be talking in the classroom about all private things instead of in our dorm. That makes complete sense.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So,
What class do you and Johnny have together that the others aren't in?
That's a good question. I think that we are both taking ancient history together.
Ancient history. Absolutely. And you have your instructor there, Miss Takimenis, and she is given to long rambling parallels between present events and past events, and which always comes back to her saying, and that's why we shouldn't just call it, it isn't just ancient history. And she waits every time for a response, and no one responds to that. But at this moment, she's going over Mesopotamia and the Fertile Crescent and all of that, the archaeological expeditions at Kapahuyuk and the other locations there. But Johnny, Cass, there's that sort of droning that we get in these kind of classroom scenes where we hear the wah wah of the teacher's voice, but the two of you can speak privately. I assume, Scarlett, that it is you that opens the discussion.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things is she's actually gotten up from her seat that's sort of in the front and moved to the back at some point during the class and the lecture. Like everyone has seen her, but no one says anything, and she just goes and sits back in the back with Johnny.
Johnny, this is very unusual.
Can you still see all the problems from back here?
She goes, yes, I have very good eyesight, Johnny.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't want you to get behind in your studies.
It would be a terrible tragedy. So have you taken this class before?
I started it, but we're sort of starting to get past the point that I remember.
That's useful. So things had already heated up by this point that semester, huh?
I guess so. It's all very jumbled.
What do you think is going on with Cass?
Oh my God. And Brandon? There's
Yeah.
something messed up there. I mean, you're on the council. Haven't you heard any rumors?
No.
Surprised Brandon hasn't bragged to everyone he knows about it yet.
Well, it is just the next day. He probably isn't running through the hallways, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Seems like a very reckless tactic from Cass.
So, I thought you might be more upset about the whole brandedness of everything.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, you two are always like staying after the council meetings and talking about policy, planning events.
Student council does, Johnny.
It just seemed like you were a little more into it than a normal student council. And then I suppose there's
I think she does start to giggle, and she goes, then a normal student council member. Okay. All right.
So, but no?
No. I dislike him because he treats Takahiro badly.
Yeah, he's a real ass.
Is that what you were working up to, Johnny?
What? No, I was just, I guess people talk or whatever. So, well, did I freeze her?
Yep.
What about Kim then?
Oh, he's lovely. Oh, but, and she goes, that's neither here nor there. I think what's important is that Cass has challenged me to a duel. And Cass knows every move of mine.
Well, I mean, that's why you don't go with moves. Just go with, fighting, ideally winning. You have to be unexpected. You have to be spontaneous about these things.
Usually I practice my spontaneity.
Maybe a little more flexibility in that, a little more like living in the moment. It doesn't always have to be perfect sword stances. You could, kick someone or throw a chair or light the room on fire. There's lots of options.
Will you fight me? I mean, fight. Not duel, fight.
Well, I mean, we've been training.
Fight, not duel.
I mean, I don't want to hurt you, Scarlet.
In a fight, don't you usually want to hurt the other person?
Yes, but okay, I guess.
All right.
And you'll hear from up front. As I was saying, and so it is that in the Epic of Gilgamesh, it is not outside forces. It is not evil. These things are not what brings Gilgamesh low, but it is the loss of his friends. His friend Enkidu, the loss is what brings Gilgamesh low. So that's what we're going to talk about next time. Class dismissed.
And she'll stop, and the last thing she'll say is, thank you.
Thank me yet.
Let's do a Cass Takahiro scene then. The first time that you've had maybe a chance after that evening, tell me, Cass, what class is it that you have with Takahiro?
I think it's probably like something that seems a little out of place for both of them. So, you've already had your home ec class with somebody, haven't you? That's it. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I think that's it. Like, oh, you know what? Know what it is? It's woodworking. For some reason, like we're both in a woodworking class.
So again, everybody keep your fingers close by you. Keep it away from the bandsaw. So everybody decide whether you're doing the birdhouse or the chessboard today. Stains over to the side. And don't touch the lathe. All right, I'll be over here. So I don't want to hear any screams. And then everybody's at their little section tables, and it's one of those classes that kind of runs a little wild. I assume there, Cass, that your two assistants are also at your table with you.
Yes. Christy and Agatha are there, and they're actually making my project for me.
Oh, absolutely.
They're making the chessboard, but like a multi-level chessboard.
Yeah, they're doing a little box saw, and they've got the little tape on there. They're doing for the stain. Takahiro, would you make a chessboard or a birdhouse?
Oh, I'm making a birdhouse, but it's way too big. Like it's enough for a large dog.
Okay. So Takahiro, you see Cass over there with Agatha and Christy. What do you do?
Oh, this is so difficult. Takahiro was so mad last night. I don't know if I should already do inner conflict. Like I really like Takahiro is just like opens their mouth, then gives up, then opens their mouth again, then gives up, and then just like keeps working on the birdhouse.
And Christy says, Takahiro is studiously not looking your way, Cass.
Cass like doesn't even look up from their planner, which he's been writing in the whole time, and says, I'm well aware, but make sure to keep an eye on it. I'd like to see how long he can hold out.
Yeah. Now I think we do the inner conflict, Takahiro. The longer this goes on, the sound of the sawing, the moment, like when you go to nail in the nail and you miss, and like something cracks on it, and that frustration level compounds it.
Yeah, I already pulled up the dice room. But I think it's also like every time I keep imagining the two of them together, and like it keeps breaking up the tools. But yeah, so what am I going to roll with? Okay. I think I'm trying to stay calm. So, which is not a very Takahiro thing to do. Yeah, because it's 0. Okay, let's see how that goes. All right. Did it go? What is it? Oh, it's a 9.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, you can mark an element, flee the scene, or you can overreact.
Yeah, I think it feels like an overreact moment. I think like
what does that look like?
I think Takahiro like looks towards Cass, and in their mind they think they're just saying, "Hey Cass, what's up?" But what happens instead is their hand slams down so hard on the table that it cracks. And everyone is staring. And Takahira's teeth are out, and he thinks he's smiling, but he looks like he's threatening people.
The room goes silent, and everyone's breaths are held as Takahiro calls out your name, Cass, in this sort of guttural, weird shout. Hello.
It's like that anime moment where it's like you can tell that Cass is trying to keep his cool, like not be like taken aback by it, but like the eyebrows like and then smooths it over and says, "Hi Takahiro, your ostrich house is coming along rather nicely."
And Takuya's like, "Ostrich?" And he looks back. There's an anime moment of he could see an ostrich could very comfortably sit in this like penthouse version of an ostrich birdhouse. But Takuya looks back, and your chessboard is, yeah.
We look over and like Christy and Agatha are like carving lions into the side of it or something like that. It's really extra. It's like, yes, it's I think I'll get at least a B on it, don't you think?
Right. B. That's a good letter. Lots of good words start with B, I think. And then the table continues to crack.
So yeah, and Cass just leans forward, the crack like reaching up to his elbow, and says, so is there something that you wanted to talk to me about? You're usually so dedicated in woodworking class.
And then it just keeps flashing back to imagining the two of you together.
Oh, but it's like, you know, the what could possibly have happened, like, you know, roses and like, you know, like fades to black moments. And you're like, but yeah. And then I think that what happens with Cass is that obviously knows what you're thinking and what you want to ask. It's like, oh, I understand. You want to talk about your disciplinary hearing today, right?
Right. And then Takuya gets really small. That's right. That's exactly what I wanted to talk about.
And immediately Cass is just like, yes, well, I've been thinking about that. And I do think that you have a really good chance of being able to stay in the school. I think it's just a matter of, you know, impressing whoever is overlooking your case and making sure that they feel that you'll definitely do whatever it takes to stay in school.
And then Takuya looks down and says, no, I don't think I should be here anymore. And then Takuya stands up really quickly, as if to go.
I think that like before you can go, like a hand like reaches over and like rests on your shoulder. And then like Cass is behind you, even though you're much taller than Cass, like it's like this kind of thing. Like and Cass is like, here, let's go for a walk. Christy and Agatha can finish your birdhouse as well. Right, girls?
Yes.
And so he loops an arm through yours and like just kind of like walks out of the classroom and like over to like a balcony or something, because it's this school and there's balconies everywhere. And he like goes and like stands against the balcony and turns around and looks at you and says, so what makes you think that you don't belong here? I mean, you obviously earned your place to be here in the first place.
And like Takuya looks down and we see him in his like delinquent high school uniform with a crop top, but huge pants. And then compared to Cass in his beautiful like version of the uniform. And Takuya says, I don't know why I'm here. I thought I knew who not who I was here for, but I think that's changing.
Well, just because the reason has changed doesn't mean that your place here needs to change. People care about you, Takahiro. They want to make sure that you succeed. I know lots of people. I'm trying to comfort and support you while still manipulating you in some way.
It's very Utena. It's very good.
So I think this is 100% control. So this is my medal. It's the weirdest comfort and support. And that is also a 9. Let's see, do I want to try to boost it? Oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna burn a bond to put that to a 10 because there's something important I want to ask you.
Okay. So Takahiro, you may clear an element or add a bond?
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna take a bond.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think in Takahiro's mind, there's it's just settling about how like he doesn't believe he deserves Cass's friendship.
Nice. And then Cass, you can clear an element, add a bond, or ask a question.
I think the question that I want to ask is, well, yeah, I think I'm still going to go for it. I think I'm going to say, I kind of like lean in and like, you know, like grab a hold of Takahiro's arm again and then like hold it and says, I think that there's a real opportunity for all of us to be closer friends and succeed and graduate this school together. But in order to do that, we can't keep going through the duels the way we have. We can't keep passing victory back and forth. We can't keep, you know, just doing what the chairman wants. So one of us needs to become the clear winner. And I think that that person should be me. So what I need your help with, Takahiro, Scarlett is my dearest friend, and I don't know how to overcome a duel with her. Could you help me?
And Takahiro will smile at you and say, Cass, I know that if you stop holding back, you'll be stronger than all of us. But I'll help you only to help you get stronger. I'm not going to hurt Scarlett in any way.
I don't want to hurt Scarlett either. I just need to win.
And Takahiro like looks down and says, I hope this will be all worth it for you.
I'm sure it will be. And then Cass like loops his arm through Takehiro's again and walks back towards the class, where I'm sure that like we're doing our final presentations on the woodworking.
Absolutely.
And someone ostrich has showed up. I just need to insert that cowbell kind of moment.
Yeah. That everyone, when it comes back, there is an ostrich in there, and everyone is sort of staring at it. Let's come back to Scarlett. Do you have a scene you want to do? Someone you want to talk to?
I actually think that we might as well do the fighting scene at this point, which is essentially, I think we go into that weird little rose garden on the side, the one with the phone. Like that's where she's chosen to have the fight. And I think she's like sitting at the chair right there. Like you can tell she's trying to get her nerve up. Like this whole hurting thing is not her mode. Then like when Johnny comes into the garden, she stands up. She goes, all right, I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Have to try, right?
All right. Johnny sort of like cracks his neck and pops his knuckles, gets sort of like hopping back and forth to each foot. Yeah, honestly, that's sort of what I'm going for. And I think Johnny like he comes in like he's a quick attacker and throws like quick jabby punches, but you can tell he's sort of starting off slow and like, a lot of the punches are just sort of like they lose their power right before they might hit, or he whiffs to the side of you or stuff like that.
And I think that what she does is like when you come in like that and you go a little soft, she will always do, because she's pretty quick, she will always kind of go shoulder to you and like repeat your action to the air, but really hard. And like to show you that she knows how to do it. But like she's trying to work her nerve up to hit you as well, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and I think there's like 2 of those sort of exchanges, and on the third one, I think maybe even to like Scarlett's sort of surprise, but definitely to Johnny's surprise, like you connect. Well, how are you using your swords? Or are you like fighting like fists or?
Oh no, it's actually, she's fighting with her fists, but the handcuffed kind of thing. She's actually like, when she's broken it, she's just got the handcuff sort of almost like brass knuckles.
Nice. So yeah, I think you like hit Johnny in the face, and there's this like sexy bloodline sort of thing that like drips slowly just down at the bottom. And he like smiles at that point, sort of shakes his head and comes in and starts fighting for real.
Okay.
And I think, I think sort of lead up to that, as we get in these moments where we're up close and sparring, and obviously there's plenty of time and breath control to have casual conversation in the middle of it.
Right.
And so he's like, so why are you even doing this? Why do you care so much about the training? I mean, obviously, like, Takahiro wears his heart on his sleeve, and it's obvious why he's doing stuff. And Cass won't shut up about why he's doing everything he's doing. But what are you even here for?
Yeah, and I think she really connects when you say that. And then she sort of steps into, that kind of thing that the boxers do to like take that pause. And she goes, because I just don't want to be alone. And then she sort of turns and elbows you in the gut. So
let's have you
Nice.
roll, Johnny.
Crap, this is curiosity, isn't it? Okay, cool. I'm a roll with wood. 9 minus 1 is still 8.
Okay. So Scarlett, you may take a bond or clear an element.
I think I will take a bond.
Are you reciprocating this comfort and support here?
Yes.
So how do you shift it to that?
I think it's like after I elbow him, in the ribs really hard. I think she turns around. She goes, I'm sorry. And she goes, you're going to have to sit down. I'm sorry. And she will like pull him over to the table and go, thank you. I just needed to know that I could handle the pain.
Yeah, I'm glad you can handle the pain.
And she goes, let me get you some tea. She's got tears in her eyes, and she comes right back with tea in an unusually speedy way. And she'll pour that for you, and she will hand you the cup, and she'll hold it very patiently until you can take a very delicate china cup from her hand.
What do you want to roll that with?
Oh, almost think growth makes sense. That patience and growth. I'll try that. Let's see. I haven't set up my thing yet. So rolling 2, adding 1. So that's an 8. We exchanged 8s.
There you go. Johnny, do you want to clear an element or take a bond?
I'd love to take a bond, but I need to clear an element if I'm going to be fighting.
Kind of do.
So I will clear my metal. And as he sips the tea and gets his breath back a little bit, he say, "It's fighting, you know. You need to maybe apologize less for hurting people. Maybe you just need to apologize less in general."
Maybe. I'll put it on my list.
I think it makes sense if we could to do a parallel cut. Cass, you've asked Takahiro to help you with this. Takahiro, where would you take Cass to do that kind of training or work or practice?
So there's a place Takahiro has set up that's called the anger management class. And it's all these old TVs and appliances and dishes. And you're just meant to throw it against the wall. And Takahiro has spray painted different people, these caricatures of people that he smashes. There are a few Brandons that he's crossed out. And so he spray paints one to look like Scarlet, this really shoujo version of Scarlet with flowers all around. And Takahiro drops the can of spray paint, picks up the bat, and says, "So, let's get started."
Cass, how do you look in the midst of this chaos and mess and the smell of spray paint?
It looks so not fitting. In a way, it's Cass stands very delicately. Cass looks very delicate. Cass, acts very delicate. But it's this moment where he's holding the bat and kind of holding it like I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. It's not my usual kind of weapon. But it's almost like a sports anime where it's there's the foot that slides across the ground and you see the stance dig in, some glass powder underneath his foot breaks a little bit more, and then the steel in his eyes, and it's I'll do whatever it takes.
And Takahiro smiles, the grin stretching across his face. "All right, when I tell you," then he pulls up a plate that you're supposed to smash towards the graffiti of Scarlet. And as he does, he screams, "Is Scarlet better than you? Is she better than you?"
This is very unnerving. It's I think that, yeah, Cass gets what you're trying to do, but the thing that you hear is Cass says, "No, but I want to win more." And then just hauls off and smashes the thing to bits.
And then Takahiro throws another one. "What are you fighting for? What are you fighting for that's worth more than her?"
And then we get more of those flashes back to my past where it's I was always under the shadow of my sister and all this other no one ever really kind of cared what I did or where I went, and it's I'm fighting so that people will know that I matter, and then smashes another a giant statue or something.
And I think the last question Takahiro asks is, "And what are you willing to do? What are you going to pay for? What are you going to pay with?"
And then the last thing is there's probably a painting that looks suspiciously like Cass and his sister, and like somehow the bat like he brings it up and through it, and like somehow it just seems to slice it straight in half. And it's like, I will sacrifice everything to get what I need.
Takahiro, would you please roll comfort and support?
Yes. Okay, here we go.
So that's
Ooh, that's a 9.
We're all in that mid-range. So, Cass, do you want to clear an element or take a bond?
I think I'm gonna take a bond. I want to clear the element, but like I think this is a very like bonding moment with Takahiro. So,
And I think Takahiro comes over and places a hand on your head and says, I know that you're willing to sacrifice everything, but Cass, what makes you beautiful is that you don't have to.
they don't even respond to that. They just, it's like the bat just kind of like knocks against the ground as like the camera cuts out.
Oh, I think we're going to have you roll inner conflict on that moment, though.
Okay.
So that plays into your new romantic.
Okay. Let's see. Which element is this? This feels like an awareness thing. So I think that's wood. And that's a 10.
So you hear that, and the bat comes down, but we can still see the steel in you. You still keep yourself a little bit together. Let's cut from that. Johnny, it's after school. There's going to be a demonstration.
Yeah.
Cass, Takahiro, Scarlett, you all have heard that there's going to be a demonstration going on, that the chairman is going to be demonstrating with members of the kendo team. When you get there, we see Arakawa, who's in his kendo gear with the mask and the blue suit with the pads on the front of it, but somehow he makes it look really good. It certainly catches the wind. His hair is blowing out before he has the thing, and you can see that he's already gone through a couple of the kendo people here,
I mean, he looks like a wimp or whatever. Like he's wearing all those pads and like all that stuff. Come on.
And he will turn and look, Mr. Wynn.
Arakawa.
You said we were going to have a little spar here to demonstrate different styles coming into conflict.
Yes, I think we're going to demonstrate. I got the feeling there would be more people, for an exhibition. You need people to watch, don't you?
There, yeah. And he will snap his fingers, and you will see students arriving and filing around the edges of this area.
Excellent. We wouldn't want anyone to miss a potential learning moment, would we?
True. And you see him taking off his pads and setting those down to the side, taking off those gloves, putting them down. And he'll come and step, and now you can see that after that first wave of students arriving, that more have arrived. What do we see of Scarlett's reaction as now we've got this big crowd that has assembled in the circle around Johnny and the chairman.
I think she picks out the student council members to kind of get the sense of whether this was communicated to them or not, just from whether they're picking up particular positions or if they're kind of just blending in. So
they have the sense that they're definitely standing and watching, though, of course, Brandon is more front and center than perhaps some of the others. Do you want to do a study move?
yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Let's see here. I think I will use awareness, wisdom, flexibility. So it's a straight roll.
Please
So,
roll.
all right. I rolled boxcars. So
You have 2 hold to
I have 2
ask
hold.
questions or declare details.
Let's see here. I think one of the things that I noticed that sort of surprises me is that Rudra is standing off to one side, and I see him make meaningful glances at like 3 other people that I don't know particularly well. But one of the things that I notice is that Jareth is watching Rudra the whole time, and then who he glances at.
All right. And second question or declaration?
Let's see here. Other than Brandon, who also seems to be in the orbit of the chairman?
Ooh, that's a really interesting question. I think that certainly Kim is a little bit, and you can have the sense that Brandon at least owes some fealty there. But I think you'll also see a woman, one of the 3 that Rudra has looked at, that you know that there are the student councils for the different years, and you know that there's a high student council. And I think you see a woman there who's clearly like takes Chairman Arakawa's coat and that kind of thing when, the pads there. And we have her picture there next to him in the NPCs.
All right.
So Cass, what do we see of you as this goes on? Do you go to watch the conflict?
Yeah, I think for sure that Cass has come here, maybe not to watch the conflict, but to continue his maneuvers as he's preparing for his own duel.
So you are there, you're watching, you see these people gathering. And Takahiro, what about you?
I'm totally there to cheer on for Johnny. No question. Like,
So you
I have my own signboard,
got that pulled up, standing there. And Johnny, how do you feel now that we've got all of these eyes on you?
I mean, Johnny refuses to show any sort of like intimidation at this point. But I do think he's like pacing a lot and just looking around like, is it time to go yet? Like, are we waiting for more people? I mean, more people can come. Aren't we doing this?
And the chairman will stop and say, I apologize for delaying you. And he steps forward. And he doesn't pull up his kendo stick.
All right.
Are you ready?
Sure. Do we just go on a bell or something?
And then a bell rings. And you tell it's like the tower bell, or someone has arranged for that. Johnny, when you duel someone who is above your scale, roll.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when I duel someone above my scale. But what about this chair?
When you deal someone above your scale, roll.
Rude. Ooh, so 9 plus 1 is 10.
So
that means I beat him, right?
If your foe is above your scale, you lose the conflict.
What?
However, you get to declare, you don't take any damage, and you get to declare how he beats you. What's the most anime dramatic way that this goes down?
I think it's a fairly like even fight to start with. They're going back and forth with each other, and there's a lot of like wind sound jabs and stuff. And for the most part, it's either like one or the other of us ducking out of the way or putting up a good block. Until I think the chairman gets like a solid kick in across Johnny's face. Like, you know, there's that sort of like horizontal midair float for a moment before he goes tumbling and rolling unnecessarily on the ground.
And I think the chairman is there even as you're kind of getting up and kind of slams you back down as you're trying to get up and says, well, your sister's watching. And then he stands up and steps away.
I feel like that might be an inner conflict moment.
Yeah.
I want to just like retort smartassly, but yeah, we'll go with fire. This
feels like fire
through.
To me.
Yeah, it's definitely breaking through his like metal and control that he would go into for a fight. That's an 8.
How do you want to handle this?
Push by marking an element or withdrawing from the situation. Just cleared an element.
Or if not, you can also choose one. You can overreact and escalate,
that's right.
Embarrass yourself socially, or create a misunderstanding with someone present.
Oh, okay, this is interesting. So realizing that I'm still in the context of like definitely losing this duel.
Yeah.
I think I want to overreact and escalate as Johnny just like sees red. There's like you know, he's got that cut still, but now his like nose is bleeding. And he rolls to the side away from the chairman, grabs one of the kendo sticks to the side, and just like comes screaming in an attack on him.
And the chairman puts his arms out and lets you hit him unarmed. And you smack him hard. And you hear everyone gasp as he takes the hit.
Yeah, it's one of those like it hits and there's like 3 different slow-mo angles of the hit happening over and over again. And
you see him wince at that, and people are moving. I don't know who to go to first. Takahiro, you are in the corner.
Is going to intervene. Like I was tempted to interrupt.
You want to try and get in the way of the shot?
I'm going to use my baseball bat to like, I mean, you know, the hit's still going to go through, but Takahiro is going to come in and use the baseball bat to like try to smash away the kendo stick.
Like before he gets a second shot, or before he can even land the first one?
I guess a second, just so
Okay.
that Johnny can still, get in
Yeah.
that first one.
So
Let it out. Let it out.
That smack, Johnny, are you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, as you kind of pull back and maybe even still seeing red, and then Takehiro's bat, there's that sound as kendo stick hits bat. Oh, Cass, what do you do?
So this is actually an opportunity where I would like to try out my new move, which is a new best friend. And I want to like steal away the senpai who was holding the chairman's coat, and like see what's going on with her.
Why don't you, let's see, there's a roll for that, isn't there?
It's
No.
actually just a move where as long as I interact with someone, I hold their attention. I can lead them to a secluded location. And if they wish to extricate themselves, they must mark an element or cause themselves major embarrassment.
I think that you think when you do draw this woman away, and she kind of takes her bit and then kind of focuses in on you. Just who? Yes.
So just to clarify, is she obviously just like an older student, or is she actually like
she's
an
clearly
adult?
like she's clearly a student, but it's not one you've seen before.
Okay, cool. So yeah, and I think that I like pull her by the sleeve and I say, senpai, I need to talk to you. And then like just very invitingly and warmly say like, I'm new to student governance. I'm Cass. I'm head of the new disciplinary committee, and I had a couple of questions. And at this point, I'd like to study.
Okay, let's have you roll.
So this is definitely metal control and calculation. Okay, and that's a 9. I think I'll just leave it at the 9.
Okay, you have one hold.
Yeah. So I want to understand like, so for the basic information, I just want to like learn who this person is, and then for my like my hold, I would like to. Well, I'll hold the hold, and after I get the basic information.
Her name is Jenny, and she's apparently a transfer student. She kind of you can tell like she's maybe a little disoriented. Kind of clearly when you ask about where she came from and stuff, she's very vague about that.
Okay, and I would like to. I would like to ask a question about this person. I want to know what Jenny wants.
Oh, she just wants to help and to serve her beloved, the chairman.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's my in. And so what I do is I say, the chairman was so kind to appoint me to this position, and I just want to make myself as useful as possible. So I was hoping that perhaps you could let me know a little bit more about his agenda so that I might be able to, serendipitously run into him and give progress reports whenever it's convenient. And so this is if I need to roll hearts and minds or something.
Oh, I think it's fine that yeah, if you're clearly acting for the chairman's benefit, at least in this moment where you have her attention, she'll be glad to provide you with the chairman's schedule. Let me cut back to Scarlett. As you see Takahiro kind of stop this, the audience is clearly like has turned. They were like, oh, here's the underdog versus the chairman, and then this goes on, and then he comes back and strikes an unarmed man, and that the mood is ugly here.
Yeah, and I think that she walks up to Johnny and she puts her hand on his chest. She says, so that the chairman can hear her. She says, "What did he say to you?"
He's like, panting and still obviously like shaking himself out of it. He said my sister?
And I think
Chairman has stepped back as you all are doing that to some of the others, like the various young women who adore him, who are checking him out, and he's like, no, it's all right. It was a minor blow. I should have expected something like that from him. And then he kind of favors his arm, and they kind of gather to move away.
I think there's like an impulsive like move forward from Johnny that maybe Scarlet puts a hand up to stop him from like running after doing more nonsense.
And she sort of stops and goes, "Oh, so that's how this game works. All right."
It's not a game, Scarlet. It's my life. He knows about my life and he's keeping it from me.
And she goes, "Yes, he's the winner, Johnny."
It's not something that should be played over.
I agree with you completely.
Takahiro? What's your reaction to that?
I'm trying to not deal the chairman. I'm gonna be honest. Like, after he said that,
someone has to stop him.
Johnny. He said bad things about you. Can I inner conflict? I don't know.
Absolutely. Let's see what the worst possible outcome is going to be.
Yeah. I just, okay. I'm trying to keep my cool. I'm trying to just take a deep breath. I think this is water. Okay. Oh, it's an 11.
So you keep yourself cool.
And I think the way it looks like is there's a moment where a shadow passes over Takaryu's face, and he like drops the bat against the ground and the stone cracks for a moment. But Takaryu says, "Hey, Chairman, just let me know when and where we should continue this friendly competition."
It turns and says, well, if you're still in the school.
Don't worry. And Takaryu turns around and smiles. My friends will make sure I won't go anywhere.
Opens his mouth to say something and then nods and again favors his arm, and all of the girls, oh, Chairman Urakawa, and then they will drag him away, even as the wind catches his hair there. Let's take 10 here, and then we'll come back and bring the four of you together. I hope everyone hates the chairman now.
Now? I've hated him since you said unnamed authority figure.
So let's do a scene with the four of you. Cass, you've been given a copy of the chairman's itinerary for the next couple of days, so you'll be able to find him if you need to, like that. But should we do this at the dueling grounds after this is going on, or shall we go cut back to the dorm? Let's cut back to the dorm. With the four of you there, you still have a little bruise on you, Johnny, to demonstrate your
it's
loss.
got like the tread of the chairman's shoe on my face there. I've got an ice pack that I'm holding up to my like bleeding nose.
I think Johnny has a Band-Aid and is calling you stupid as he puts it on your face.
What? I almost won.
You and then like Takahiro is like, you should you were so, that was stupid. That was stupid.
I think that causes me mixed emotions.
Really? You mean as the person you love who is reckless and dangerous calls you stupid?
While like very gently putting a Band-Aid on your cheek.
It's fine.
I'm sorry I'm like this.
I think metal. I think it's control and like self-reflection. Oh, it's 11.
So good.
So you keep yourself together.
And I think there's like this moment of what, me reckless. Look, fine. It was maybe not the wisest thing I could have done, I guess, or whatever.
Johnny, we have to fight him together. We're going to do this together, right?
He said he had my sister.
Then we're just gonna take her back from that bastard, right?
You've never mentioned a sister before. Cass is like sitting there off to the side, like as you two are having your moment, like looking down at the chairman's schedule, but like not showing it to anybody just yet.
I'm sorry I didn't mention absolutely everything I forgot while I was in a coma for half of a year.
You forgot you had a sister?
I just didn't think about. Yes, okay, fine.
Well, if it helps, she seems to have forgotten about you too.
Oh, yes.
No, there's no real conflict there.
No.
Johnny is like up out of the chair and across the room to like armbar Cass's neck. What did you say?
Cass just like pushes you off, like and fixes their out uniform and says, I pulled her away for a moment to see who she was because I saw an upperclassman that I didn't recognize, and she introduced herself as Jenny Wynn, and the only person she seemed to care about.
As Jenny.
Oh, as Jenny. I assume that they look very similar. Like the sibling resemblance is strong.
There's something there. There is a resemblance, but there might not be. But there's just an echo, maybe. That anime ambiguity.
And I think you say Jenny, and there's this like bell clanging moment in Johnny's head, and like half of his face is in shadow. We see like just the briefest flashback to like a flash of like a little girl, like her hair turning, and just this echo like Johnny, Johnny, Johnny. And it flashes back to the present.
I think there's also a flashback of a figure in a watery glass aquarium, and then we get the flashback.
Jenny, who was she? Where did you see her?
She was the one who held the chairman's coat, and it seems that she holds more than just his coat. She seems to be in charge of his agenda book.
Sorry.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
What is she even? Why didn't you tell me sooner?
You were kind of being pounded into the dirt?
It was a strategy.
Well played.
Someone save poor Johnny.
Yeah, and I think that Scarlett says, so is that the nature of the win condition? You get to be chairman, you get to have what you want.
I don't know if winning is how he got chairman.
But he did win, didn't he?
Did he? I
Who is
wasn't
it
here
that? Yeah, who is it that saw that moment that Brandon?
That was Takahiro.
Oh,
Yeah, I think Takeri's gonna remember that moment, and is just going to throw his arms around Johnny, and he's gonna say, "Please, just be. You can't see him without us. Just be careful. Will you promise me?"
Do you want to try?
And I'm trying
Hearts
to
and
comfort
Minds
and
talking
support.
into?
Oh no, hearts and minds, baby. Oh, you're gonna make me hearts and minds you. Okay.
He doesn't want to promise you that because he'd feel super bad breaking a promise to you, so it might actually work.
Okay, I'm gonna hearts and minds. I don't want him to kill you. So I'm gonna roll. Oh, how am I feeling? I'm feeling so many things. Okay, I think I'm trying to be calm. Ooh. Can we say it's like a what did they call that? When it's a hand against the head against the wall moment. I forgot they have a name for it in anime.
Yeah, I can't remember what to call it.
Yeah, but yeah. So rolling. Okay, it's a 7. What happens on a 7?
It's a hit, and they can mark XP if they agree. If they don't, they have to mark an element. Because it's a 7 to 9, if they decline, you both mark an element.
And I think there's a moment where you grab him around the shoulders and he's like very stiff and about to pull away. But he just sort of sags and seems tired and says, "Okay, fine. I won't seek him out without you. But I'm not going to run away from him."
No, we're not running from the bastard. And you can see like Takahiro just looks really relieved. And he's like, look, we'll do everything we can. We'll get your sister back. We'll figure this out. And I look towards Cass, and we're going to win, right?
Winning is the only option.
Scarlett?
So when we win, what do we want?
Understanding the power of what the champion gets is the first step in determining what our moves after that are. There's no point in thinking about it until someone is declared the champion. This is me subtly like trying to put everyone off from thinking about it as I continue my machinations.
Yeah, and you see Scarlett go.
I know what I want. I want my life back. And, see Arakawa in his rightful place. And maybe Brandon.
And she sort of stops and goes, so what you want is something here at the school? Not something beyond?
This is where it happened. This is where I lost everything. If I'm going to find it, it's going to be here.
All right. Huh.
And I think that kind of silence will fall on that scene. Let's do a once around of kind of scene calling, and then we'll move to a set piece because we have Hamlet, we have the disciplinary committee, but I think more importantly, we have the Cass Scarlet duel coming up. These are all things that we have on our agenda. So in the wake of that meeting, of this vision, of all of this conversation, Takahiro, what do we want to see from you? Do you want a scene with a PC, with an NPC? What do you think?
I think I kind of, oh, this is such a bad idea.
Yes.
I want to confront Miss Jasper.
Absolutely. So we'll see you storm across over to the administration building and march up to Miss Jasper's office. And I assume you don't knock.
Yeah, just throw the door open.
Okay. Just throw the door open, and Miss Jasper's there, and she is making some notes, and she doesn't look up, and she says, Mr. Santos?
Whatever you're doing with Cass, I'm not going to let you get away with it.
Whatever are you talking about?
And Takahiro looks looks at her in the eye and says, I may be dumb, but I know it's not right, whatever you're doing. He's changing, and not in a good way.
It's always struck me that Mr. Berncastle has been strongly able to choose their path, to know what they want and follow that path. I'm not sure that I can take any kind of credit for that.
And Takahiro would just look at her and say, you're very good with words, Miss Jasper, but I'm not going to give up on Cass, and I'm not going to let him go, and I'm not going to lose to you.
We'll have to see, won't we? And you can tell that she's taunting, that she wants you to do something.
And I think Tucker thinks about it like he can really feel the bat along his back, but he thinks he can't put Cass in more trouble. Cass is already doing so much to help him.
Was there something else?
No, Miss Jasper, nothing else. But and Takiro like glances down and looks up again. But I mean it. Cass is better than you. He's not going to lose to you either.
And you see her cock like unexpectedly. You don't come at her. You don't break anything. And she says, "I will consider that. Please shut the door on your way out."
And he does it a little too hard. Like the glass kind of goes like, yeah.
Definitely out and going through the sort of lonely halls, walking back, and we'll come back to you. Let's come to Cass.
Yeah, I think the camera like pans over. It's like the rose garden in the evening. So like there's like stars and fireflies, and like you see like Brandon sitting on a bench, and then like like also on the bench, but like reclining and resting his head on Brandon's lap is Cass. And it's the thing where like collars are loosened, and like there's this implication that perhaps they were not just resting, but who knows. And Cass says, the hearing will be very soon. Are you prepared to argue Takahiro's case?
I am. We have an understanding?
Yes, I believe we do. And then it's like Cass takes the moment and like reaches a hand up and then like pushes Brandon's bang out of his face and says, "It's so strange that you have such loyalty to an underclassman. Why Takahiro specifically?"
Ooh. Let's do study.
I'm just gonna lean in. This is a very controlling.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Let's go. That's a 13.
You have to hold.
Let's see. My first question is like, well, so what's the basic information that I get?
The basic information is that like Brandon doesn't want to show how much they care about Takahiro. Like it's important that he not show that.
And then, yeah, I think I want to just cut straight to the heart, and I want to like, what is this person's desire? Like, why is he so, enamored of Takahiro, even though he wants to hide it?
He Takahiro is everything that he cannot be. Wild and impulsive and even grimy, all of those things that he can't be. That is what draws him. And you probably feel a little bit of a twinge there because you're not that. What's your second question?
My second question is, I already know the means to manipulate him. How about, I would like to know, why what is his loyalty to the chairman? Like, what's his story with the chairman? Like, why is he seemingly have special treatment and has this like close relationship with the chairman?
I think there's this moment where he's sort of talking and he's talking about it obliquely and you get the sense, you draw out from this that he can't be with Takahiro because to do that is to like violate something, like some kind of promise or some kind of deal that he made. And there's a sense like he made a mistake. Like you have the sense that there's something that Brandon did that he is paying for. Does that seem fair?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And I think the last thing that you see on this scene is yeah, I like the idea that I'm just going to recreate that one part from the movie. It's like you see Brandon has like this heavy weight on it. And so like Cass sits up and then sits like the opposite way on the thing and then just leans and like puts his head on Brandon's shoulder as like someone who will be there for him to support himself on if he wants it.
Nice. Johnny.
Hello. So I promised Takahiro I wouldn't go after the chairman, which was stupid. I don't even know why I did that. It was dumb. But fine, whatever. But like Cass is claiming that girl that was standing next to him was I have to go see her. I have to go find her. Like I have to find out what's going on there.
That feels like a study role.
Ugh.
Yes.
I think that's going to be wood again. Okay, it's cool. It'll be fine. It'll be great. It's less than great. But I have one last bond with Scarlet.
You want to spend that for this?
Like, yes, of course I do. It's my sister. This is very important.
All right.
Scarlet would agree.
So you are out of bonds.
What? You sound really chipper when you say that for some reason.
Just let me take a little sip here.
So yeah, what's the basic information? Where do I find her and what do I see? Just on
She's
first
among
inspection?
the small group of students who are have a special dispensation and essentially are kind of not I don't want to say internship, but essentially are part of the chairman's entourage, and so have rooms in the chairman's house.
Is that where she is right now? Inside the chairman's house?
Yes.
Really? Well, I mean, I'm not like going to see the chairman. It's just, I don't even know if he's in his house right now. It's not like his personal, it's just like the chairman's house. That's just what they call it.
Let me ask you this.
Hey, hi, what's up?
Do you think that's a violation of your promise?
No, definitely, probably a little, but no, but maybe, but no.
Are you going to go do it?
Let's see. This is no, this is metal. It's fine. I can control myself.
Yeah.
I can keep from breaking my promise, but still go in there.
Okay.
See, that's an 11. I'm gonna be fine.
So yeah, absolutely. You don't believe that you're breaking your promise. You've convinced yourself that this is not breaking your promise.
No, it sounds like a really good argument. Like I play it over in my head, and Takahiro is there, and he's nodding along, and he's saying, "Yes. Oh no. I wasn't meaning to restrict you from going anywhere, just directly in the chairman's presence. Obviously, this was a very clever way to."
Yes, you're very happy.
Don't buy it.
So are you using your secret passageways move, I assume?
Yeah. I think there is a statue outside of the chairman's house that has like a big metal plaque on it. And if you hit several of the letters, the plaque like sinks back into it. There's a stairway down into the dark.
And so we'll see you in the chairman's house. We've been there before. The ballroom that we saw that gathering scene in, the library with the petals, all of those rooms, servants moving around and about. And we see you stalking through the hallways, but you are very good at this. And you can make your way to the room of the woman who you believe might be your sister.
He'll like put his hand up to the doorknob, like he's gonna just like walk in, and he stops for a minute, and he like puts his hand up to knock, pauses for a minute, but then he knocks.
You hear, Arakawa?
No?
Who is it?
Hey, it's Johnny. My name is Johnny. Hi, I'm Johnny Wynn.
And you hear footsteps, and she opens the door, and she looks at you with this absolute look of disdain.
I want to spend my hold from study.
Okay.
What memory goes through my head when I see her face up close?
That moment when you chose between helping her or going after Arakawa. And you went after Arakawa. A flash of that, you know, that choice where she needed help, and you went after the chairman.
Dang it, why is this session just all inner conflicts?
I think we've already hit your inner conflict on this scene.
Okay.
We don't need to roll again, but yeah, you feel that like you that flash, like you're the one who left her behind.
I just wanted to see how you were. Yeah, hi, I don't think we've met.
No, I don't believe we have.
I'm Johnny Wynn. Did I say that?
Yes. Was there something you needed?
I was just. Have we? When did you get here? I haven't seen you on campus before.
I'm a transfer.
Oh yeah, so you just arrived?
I don't see as that's any business of yours.
Well, I mean, no, I was just trying to be nice. Like, this is a big campus and it can be sort of confusing sometimes. You need
How
someone to show you around.
How did you get in here? You see her look like this is clearly not your dorm. You've clearly.
I mean, there was, and he points vaguely back with the door, obviously. But I was just like, do you need someone to introduce you to campus? I mean, I know a lot of people. I can show you the right people and like where you go to study and like hang out and stuff.
No, Chairman Arakawa sees to all my needs.
But I mean, he's so busy. You wouldn't want to waste his time on something as simple as a tour, would you?
I have to study.
He
You know what? I mean, you don't have the edge. You're going to have to lie or insinuate some way to be able to manipulate her. Are you willing to compromise that? To make her susceptible to your words? Because you know who that Arakawa is the object of her desires.
You know, not everybody knows this, but there's a hidden part of the garden that Arakawa had built. It's his favorite place on the campus.
Let's have you roll hearts and minds.
You know, creativity, speed, let's be fine. This is cool. Everything's fine. That's a 5. That's definitely a 5.
Is that a 5?
Yeah, everything's fine, but just so you know, I did roll a 5.
And she's about to say something, and you'll hear, Mr. Wynn.
Turn around
what
slowly.
Do I owe the honor of this visit? And you can see he's got, his shoulder bandaged, his shirt is off in that, strategic way. He has his, shirt over his shoulder. How is he glistening?
Where is that wind coming from?
Yeah. It's the chairman.
Arakawa, I was just, I was on my way to...
Apologize?
No, I don't think I did anything to her. Oh, no, no. I have to go. Just runs.
And mark that element you rolled. Let me take another sip of your tears before I move on to Scarlet.
So refreshing, so salty.
Oh, wow. I take a breath here. Scarlet. What scene do you want? Who do you want to talk to?
Him.
He's easy to find because he's sort of in the neighborhood of your dorm.
Yep, and I think it's the same thing. She like looks out on the balcony and she sees him. She goes, "Hold on."
Oh.
She'll do the thing. You see her race down, like she's going down all the stairways, and her hand running all the way down, another, and then she comes out the door, and sort of he's standing there.
Hey, Scarlet.
Welcome all. Why don't we go around to the side garden?
If you want to, sure. Yeah.
All right. And she'll sort of come. That's the place with the phone and the little table. And she'll sit down and she'll go, "What did you think of the fight today?"
Well, it was certainly a demonstration. Your housemate made a pretty strategic blunder there.
Yes. He and the German have a history.
He could have walked away with people rooting for him, but
a strategic loss. Wonder when something like that will ever occur to Johnny.
So you guys are doing Hamlet?
Yes. What are you doing?
Noise is off, but the 10-minute version.
Oh, we're doing the 10-minute version of Hamlet too.
Oh.
It'll be good. Noise is off. I don't think I've seen that before. That'll be lovely.
We had to build a whole rotating stage thing for it. Like it flips around.
Really? What role are you playing?
And here's where the backstage manager.
Oh, oh, very clever.
No, that's a character. That's not actually being the backstage manager.
Oh,
because it's a play about a play.
All right. So do you talk about lighting?
No, I think there's a lot of that cut out. It's only 10 minutes, so.
Oh, all right. Do you get to kiss someone?
No.
No, I don't know either. Ophelia's life is very hard.
You really don't get to? That seems like a waste.
I mean, you've got a whole 10 minutes of play and there's no kissing. It just doesn't seem like a good ratio. But Cass has his plan.
He certainly does. What's up with Cass and Brandon? I thought you and Brandon were a thing.
Never.
Really?
Really. And she goes, I suppose we're more of a thing than I ever was with Brandon.
And there's that moment where he kind of like, and of course he blushes.
Mm-hmm. She sort of stops and she goes, why did you think that I had a thing with Brandon?
That's what everybody says, that you and Brandon would be the perfect couple.
No. But would we?
No, it wouldn't work.
All right, well then. She goes, so I will be in the audience for your play. Is there something I should be watching out for? At what minute do you show up?
Can I please have you roll student handbook?
Sure. I have no idea. That's one of my rules. Moves.
That's one of your moves.
All right. Let's see here. This seems worthy of curiosity. Is it like curiosity, I think? Yeah, I will do that. Not that she particularly wants to know what minute, but she wants to know what's going on here. So that gives her a 9.
You should be careful.
Of what or whom?
Fighting your friends.
But you say that they say we have to fight, right?
I should go. I've said too much. And he stands up, and I'll watch your play too.
All right. Thank you.
And he will head off. Shall we? Yes?
Yeah.
What do you want? What, Scarlett?
I think she sort of stops. And she goes out into the garden and she picks a rose. Because she's going to be needing one.
Absolutely. Shall we cut forward? Tell me, Scarlett, what were the grounds that you chose for this duel?
Ooh. Let's see here. I think that I check with Cass and I'm like, do you want it to be visible? Or do you want it to be private, Cass?
Since we are, shotgunning towards the end of this series, I think that I would love to see it play out during the performance of Hamlet.
Ah. All right, that makes sense.
Then I think we cut to the night of the play. I think we cut to the preparations. I think we cut to the set. I think that's beautifully done. We see an exhausted Agatha and Christy who've been working all hours to get the set built and everything. And we'll see the little amphitheater that they have for the plays. All the classes file in. We see everybody in the audience. We see Arakawa. We see Jenny seated next to him. We see Adoma shooting daggers at Takahiro. We see Jareth looking really, he didn't want to come, but he kind of had to come.
I waved to him in particular.
Manhattan is there, very excited to see Cass. He hasn't really had a chance to talk to Cass since Cass moved to the other dormitory. The instructors are there. Rudra's there. Everyone is there in the audience, gathered together. Takahiro, what do we see you doing getting ready for this play?
Oh, yeah. So the camera pans and I have my tights on and it comes up from below. And then it's those like cute little shorts with the stripes on it that are poofy. And it continues to go up. And then it's a tight button-up shirt with high shoulders, but it's a crop top. It's like Absolutely. The buttons end, like, up there. And he's in the middle of like trying to put on the hat with the huge feather on it. And he looks a little like, he looks at the mirror, like not really confident.
And Christy's like, just a little more, because the lights, I need to put a little more makeup on you. All right? Okay, I'm going away now. Thank you. And Johnny, what do we see of you in preparations for this? How's your mood?
It's not great. I think he's like got his costume half on and his crown is sort of like sideways and he's pacing back and forth, and like he'll start reading a line from one of his lines there, and then just in the middle of it, like he'll be staring at the mirror and he'll start like grumbling at Chairman Arakawa, or like obviously should have done this. And he like eventually just throws his script over his shoulder and he's just like brooding in the corner.
And what about you, Scarlett?
Well, she has definitely memorized the Ophelia speech, the abridged one. And she's dressed and she's particularly lovely. The gown is one of hers that she's changed, added more jewels on it so that it's more sparkly and sort of a floral design that runs from top to bottom in a very line thing. And it's sort of how do you say? It's kind of like, it has that look of maybe it's transparent, but it's not. So it's kind of appears revealing, but it's probably less revealing than it is. So there you go. But she's going to be, in the water, so it hardly matters. So
and Cass,
she's not nervous at all. She's just waiting.
Yeah. Cass, what do we see of you in the preparations here?
You see Cass has like basically like done themselves all up in white makeup because they're playing the ghost, and like it's literally like the exact same outfit but like with no color. So and then just like even there, like his blue hair has been like powdered with like stage makeup, and so it looks white now, and it's almost as if he's been like desaturated with like additional like Hamlet style like costuming added to it.
And I think you'll see one of the super junior underclassmen come backstage, has a bouquet for you. Mr. Berncastle?
Yes. I'm sorry. Have we met?
Oh, no. This is from Mr. Sai, from Brandon.
Cass tries really hard not to show that like it went straight to the heart. So just like with a very like genial smile, and like stands up and like takes the bouquet and like nods to the underclassmen and says, "Please send my regards."
Thank you.
And there's like a moment of like staring down at the bouquet and then like looking out into the middle distance.
And I think as the four of you kind of getting ready, there's you'll see poke his head backstage. You will see Chairman Arakawa. I just wanted to say break a leg, since we don't want to speak of luck in these things. I didn't have a chance to say that to you last night, Johnny, when you stopped by. But I hope everything goes well.
I hope you break a leg too.
I'm sure I'll have a chance to break a leg. And he backs out.
Johnny?
So, like, do we really think the audience is gonna buy this whole sword fight between Ophelia and the ghost of her dead father? I mean, that's like really far out there for Hamlet. That
Johnny!
Seems like what? No, I'm just bringing up theatrical criticism concerns, we don't want to get dragged in the school newspaper, do we?
And then Takahiro just gets up and throws his hat down and says, "You promised."
No, I didn't. I swear, I didn't go to see him. It was just, I was trying to find Jenny, and I was talking to her, and things were going really well. We were getting along, and then like Chairman Arakawa shows up out of nowhere, and like I ran immediately. I didn't even say much to him, and we definitely didn't fight, and I didn't do any. It's not my fault if he comes near me, right?
And Takahiro picks up the hat and says, "No, it's okay. I understand enough now."
I'm dead. Johnny, could I please have you roll in our conflict?
Hey, sure. What else is the session for? I think it's going to be wood again. I think this is trying desperately for some form of personal growth. Please, let maturity save me.
Yeah.
It's a 4, so that's like real close to a success.
So go ahead and mark that element.
Yeah.
And I think that you kind of, and the words don't come out.
And I think Takahiro, very unexpectedly picks up the bat and places it on the table and leaves the room.
You've lost your voice.
Guys, I don't know if I can do my lines.
You will do your lines. You will get yourself under. Cass immediately whips around on you, and it's just up in your face. It's like, no, you will not ruin this. You have already done so much to jeopardize this performance. I will not have you ruin it at the absolute 11th hour.
Okay.
And we'll hear the little overture. They've taken a little bit from like a Shostakovich Hamlet suite, and they've got that they're playing, to start it out. And we will go to the play. And
Can I get Johnny a cup of tea as comfort and support?
I will let you do that.
Thank you. Let's see here. Let's go with, I'm going to go patience. Patience. It's the only way. So that's an 8.
Johnny, would you like to clear your condition of voiceless, or would you like to clear an element?
Rude. I mean, we have to do this performance, and if the chairman's going to be out there, I'm not going to choke up. So
Yeah,
my voice, yes.
and I think all three of you are awesome. This is very much Cass's show for the first part. Cass, you have a move for this.
Ooh. So, talent show. You've trained hard to be the best at what you do, and you're going to make sure everyone recognizes it. When you gift an audience with a performance, roll to impress, and you gain additional options to choose from.
So just to be clear, now with Takahiro gone, is Cass playing both the sword-fighting ghost of Hamlet's father and Hamlet?
I thought you were playing Hamlet, except for the one scene where you play Claudius, and then I play.
Oh, okay.
Takahiro, are you still participating in the play?
Oh yeah, Takahiro is doing really well.
Okay.
Laser focused, no longer distracted.
All those emotions, don't have to worry about them anymore.
Okay, I'm scared. I'm gonna roll plus water, which is awareness and wisdom and flexibility. Okay, it's an 8. Yeah, so let's see here. When you impress, on a hit, you impress and convince, pick 2 options. On a 7 to 9, the GM will offer you a complication or a hard choice. Okay, so the 2 options that I want to choose are, I want to clear an element, and then I want to gain a favor from an observer.
Absolutely. Tell me, though, here's the cost. You need to show up one of your fellow players. Who do you shine so brightly that their light is diminished in this?
Oh, this is so spiteful. It's Takahiro. Like, yeah, I think that there's this, like, because Brandon sent me flowers, and I know that Brandon really wanted to send flowers to Takahiro, but I'm gonna show Brandon that I deserve those flowers.
So Takahiro, do you recognize that that's what's going on? Do you think?
I don't know if Takahiro consciously recognizes
That's
it,
fair. Yeah.
but there's something that switches inside. And I think Takahiro starts to speak Hamlet's lines, even though he's not supposed to.
And I think there's a little bit of cross of like who's playing which role, but they kind of switch it up, and it feels natural, like it's some sort of postmodern meta take, like we are every role in Hamlet, and there's that kind of swapping around. So how does this come to a duel between Cass and Scarlet?
I think that our postmodern production, the ghost challenges Ophelia to a duel to get her out of the way so Hamlet can wreak vengeance upon the court. And that's how we've quote unquote written the duel into it. But I think it also just comes as like this like natural progression of like Cass like showing everybody up, and like first I like put Johnny in his place to make sure he performed, and then secondly I showed up Takahiro, and then my sights are set on Scarlet.
All right.
So frame this for me. What does this actually look like on stage? Cass, set that, and then I'm going to have Scarlet extend it for the weirdness.
Yeah, so I think that like we do this like cool, weird, like ingenious theater thing where like we're on these like dueling stairwells that lead down to the pond of Ophelia's ultimate fate, and like we're going up and down the stairs in like this like choreographed sword fight that will inevitably go wrong.
And when it does shift over to that extended dual space, the dun 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 dun, and so what do we see change there?
I think the thing is that, the motif here has been like water lily and thing like that. And then all of a sudden it's the lighting and sort of a slight revolution of the stage, and everything is roses, if that makes any sense. And yeah, and I think the thing that is that the audience sees the rose on Ophelia's chest sort of spring up, and then it shows up on Cass's chest. It's like it blooms all white. And yeah.
To match the ghost.
Exactly.
So, Cass, you are the challenger for this PvP moment. what is your offer to Scarlet?
So I think the thing that comes across is that Cass is doing all of this. Like Cass is, like outshining everyone. Cass is pushing everyone off the center of the stage. Cass is like trying to make himself like bigger and larger than everything and everyone else. And like the offer is that by doing this, by pushing everyone out of the way, I'm actually going to paint the biggest target on my own back, which will hopefully take the heat off of Johnny. If I become the champion, if I'm the one who has everyone challenging him to be the new champion, maybe that will take the heat off of Johnny for a moment. Maybe that will give you a chance to like finally maybe perhaps grow closer. And like that's the implication that I'm giving, is that I will do everything in my power to draw the chairman's attention away from Johnny.
Scarlet, you may accept, you may decline, or you may make a counter offer.
I think her counter offer is, what do you say, that she will duel you, and she will make sure that it appears that you have won, but it will be an honest duel. Does that make any sense? She agrees to go along with it, but in fact, I want to actually roll to see which of us wins.
There's no rolling in a PvP.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, let's roll to see if she wins. Not Cass will definitely win to everyone that can see. But it's a thing about between them that it's not just a bargain, it's a test.
Cass, you can accept or decline. If you decline
on stage and people are performing.
Sorry,
yeah, you froze up.
Now, yeah, I froze up for a bit there at the high point.
So yeah, if I were to decline, then it would end up in a draw.
It would knock each other back. Nothing decided.
I think that I'm going to go with it. I think that it's going to be like I'll accept the conditions there. It's like what I want, like to appear as the victor, to continue to be the one to build like the public vision, the image. That's what I want. And then for the duel itself, I'm fine deciding that by like the role of like a D2.
Oh, a D2? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do that D2.
Okay.
So is this a competitive D2?
Yeah, so it'll either result in a 1 or a 2, and I want Scarlet to call it before I roll.
I think I'm at the disadvantage, so I'll take the 1.
Mm-hmm. It's the 1.
So what is the moment when you get the edge, Scarlet, but Cass appears to win?
So, and I do think it's a fine duel. They use all of the stage space and all of the blocking that Cass has set before. They have it down. And people are very like uncertain of whether it's a stage duel or a real duel, but there's that moment at the end when they actually pull out their real weapons. And of course you have the scythe, which is awesome for a ghost. And not sure why Ophelia has twin swords, but it's just that moment. And when they do the cross, there's a thing of Cass, you feel her blade slip by your chest in the sword thing, but you also come down across her at that same time, but a second later, and she turns like she's fallen back from your blade, and she's sort of got her back to you, and you feel her put your rose back on your chest, and then she falls like at your feet.
Nice. Takahiro, while all this is going on, what are you doing? You know, as it gets to that high point of this, what are you doing?
I think it's a full-on Utena moment when, just exactly as Scarlet falls, the spotlight goes black on them, and it's suddenly the spotlight comes on Takahiro, and he looks out towards the crowd, and he leaps towards it and starts walking towards Brandon, and he says, "Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love." And he places a hand on Brandon's cheek and the light turns off.
Let's have you roll impress.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna go with fire. I think this is a
Absolutely.
fiery moment. Okay. That is a 8. I'm gonna, let's see what happens on an 8. Double check.
You get 2 picks on an 8.
Ooh. Ooh, but there's a cost or complication, right?
Yes.
Let's see. Can I decide if I'm gonna burn the bonds after I hear the complication? Or should I do it now?
What do you feel? How cruel should we be?
Oh, I'm gonna burn the bonds to get a hit of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I had a good cause and it was going to be
Oh
tragic.
no! Wait, tragic! Wait. What kind of tragedy?
I think that
Okay.
that if I'll tell you the cost and you can tell me whether you want it, is that you can get your impress, but I think you'll hear Brandon say, "I challenge you."
Oh, okay, I'll take it. Because that feels perfect.
Okay.
But yeah, so the 2 things I'm gonna choose are create a bond with someone watching. I think it's gonna be Cass, so that I can put that up to a 3 and declare truth about Cass. And the second one I'm gonna choose is gain a favor. Ooh. From an observer.
And you can put that in your pocket if you want to decide and pull that out later, because everyone is watching.
Yeah. Cool. I'll do that.
Johnny, you see this amazing Titanic battle. This goes on. You'll see, you can tell that there are people in the audience who can see it as you do. And there are people who clearly don't. It kind of wraps up and you see Cass win. Do you think you see what happens there between the 2 of them, or do you picture Cass as the victor there?
Yeah, I think I missed the subtlety from Scarlet, especially as things move into like spotlight love monologues with Takahiro and crap.
And so, what do we see you here at the end of this play?
I think the lights come up and it's like just the 3 of them there to take the bow.
But not Johnny?
But not Johnny.
Not Johnny. And if you kind of like run to hide backstage, where are you?
I think not like backstage, but like outside behind the theater. Like he's sort of thrown his costume into the corner in the dressing room and just like run out, but didn't actually get very far.
And I think we'll see in the audience, as the lights come up and we see the three of you, we see Jenny kind of look and like start to stand, like, where is Johnny? And Arakawa kind of puts his hand on her shoulder and has her sit back down. I think that's where we need to stop. Does that sound okay? And I think that we will see that figure. And I think we pull back maybe a little bit more, and we can see the figure has almost a sort of a carnival harlequin look to their outfit. And we see them reach down and scratch behind the ears of the dog that's seated next to them. And then we see them lift up the card. The next duel will be the lovers. And that's where we're going to stop. Wow. 3 XP, everyone. Catch my breath. Let's do stars and wishes. Thoughts. We'll probably take this up maybe January, maybe February. We'll check. Probably more like February, just because my January is so packed. I'm at 7 games a week right now as it is, in that, because I'm playing in a bunch of stuff. It kind of worked out that way. But stars, wishes. Let's start with Takahiro, with Jamie.
Yeah, big stars. So much angst between Takahiro, Johnny, and Brandon. I actually plan to have that moment with Johnny instead of Brandon, but then that broken promise.
It's so good.
So good. So big stars to that really tense moment between. I just love seeing Johnny suffer today. It was really good. Very good stuff. Thank you so much. I really
You're
liked.
welcome for my character's pain.
It was delicious. No. And I really loved seeing how both Scarlett and Cass are like deepening in their complexity. So that was like super duper fun. Really, really good. In terms of wishes, I'm just happy we're getting another season. I think there's a lot of good setup. Yeah, I don't have a particular wish because I did want to set up a duo with Brandon at some point. So I think it's like absolutely perfect. I do want to see more of Jenny. That was really good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's it for me.
Sherry.
Cass was awesome, over the top. The best rival and best friend a girl could ask for. That is, I think it's important that two best friends actually fear one another on occasion, and this has been those moments. Really, Gerald, you are the best skeeper. And Johnny, you are the best flailing mess. Wow. Just, it's like from one mess to another. It was an epic session for that. And Takahiro, I will love you forever. That is, yes. No, it was just good. You were, Takahiro has such a truthful through line. And it is a joy to watch, and don't know, what do you say? I think that Scarlet would like to be in the parade right behind Takahiro because it seems so certain. And that's lovely. And Lowell, this was really a great game. This turned out really fun, and I'm looking forward to more of it. So y'all are really good, though.
It's a good group. It's a good group. Patrick, I want to call out for you being so good in the face of so much turmoil today. You were long suffering, does not even begin to describe it.
It was a mess. It was all bad choices, and for some reason, my dice were feeling very judgy today. Let's see. Wishes. I obviously want to follow up on the Jenny and Arakawa stuff. Like, that doesn't count as a wish. That's obviously just going to be a big thing. As a wish, especially with Takahiro and Brandon going into a duel, like, I need to fight Takahiro. We need to have a duel. The only way I'm going to win you back, obviously, is through blood, and stupid Brandon got there first. But I'm not going to let him win. Also, just as sort of a, I don't know, mechanicsy playtesty thing.
Sure.
In this and other Hearts of Wulin recently, it seems like, Lowell, you're doing the choices on comfort and support backwards with the bonds. And I was wondering if you actually like the moves as they're written.
I get that mixed up. That's actually I swap around on remembering that, and that is a entirely on my part. What it needs to be is that when you do comfort and support on a 7 to 9, you can clear an element, or you give them a bond with you that they can burn to get themselves a +1. And on a 10 plus, essentially the other person can do it in the other direction. So technically, if they don't spend it, like if you don't want to do that, like in the heat of a moment, then you write down a bond. So if Takahiro is comforting you, they succeed on a 7 to 9, they write down the bond. And I know one of the things is it's gone through a couple of versions. That's the final version in the rules. But because I have so many character templates, I have to go and look at which version I have written in this template.
I was just curious if it was a subconscious choice that kept coming out and changing things or not, but just wanted to
No, I think that's actually really good and helpful.
Stars, this was amazing. Like, I love Hearts of Wulin. I really liked some of the other settings, like playing Coeur de la Paix was fun and neat. But this one feels the most like effort and love has been put into all corners of it. Like, there's so much different and unique and cool to Academy that's not just like Hearts of Wulin, but in different clothes. Got all the stuff with Jenny and the chairman was great, and just like the terrible choices of Johnny's slowly unrolling disaster was lovely. Let's see, I really loved seeing like full-on schemy cast this time. We've seen very like entitled casts, I guess, and very like part of the student body and doing all the right things cast. And this time it was like, no, Cass wants his own back this time, and he's going to do anything to get it. And it was cool to see. Jamie, that promise that you made Johnny make, that like we all knew he could never keep, was such a great moment, and led to like this horrible awkward scene, and then led to the fight at the play, and it was it just had great fallout, and it was a wonderful, like, impossible task to put on Johnny. You know, he couldn't follow one simple command for even a day, which is just great. And Scarlet, I don't know, she's really getting interesting. I feel like she is also moving out of that, like, perfect student template and very much trying to move into her own goals and her own thing, but I don't know if she really has figured that out yet. And so it's interesting to see her go from scene to scene and, like, have her question her feelings and thoughts, and have other people constantly question her feelings and thoughts. Because it feels like we're moving past the, like, assumptions and caricature stage of Scarlet's perfect studentness. And just more. I mean, I love it. I want more. It's good. It's so good. Oh, extra star! I actually started watching Utena this past week. I got like 4 episodes in, and it's amazing. And it's like the gayest thing that's ever happened.
Yep.
And it gets even more gay. It's very good.
Oh yeah, so good. Cass.
Okay, wow. So this episode like just absolutely sang from start to finish, I feel like the beats were there, the emotions were there, like everything was just like steamrolling through. Like I didn't feel like there were moments where anything lagged or like, you know, like that we were like spending too long on anything. So I think that like it felt really tight. Like it didn't feel like 2.5 hours had gone by. So that was great. Special stars to everybody for like really like leaning into their characters. Like it's funny that we talked about how we're going to go into our like next arc next time, because I feel like this was definitely like an arc 2 episode. Like all the characters are more like slowly becoming more deep and more interesting, like revealing more about themselves. I love that Johnny like has to actually care about something and someone other than himself now, like, and not just like as a romantic thing, but like the dynamic of Jenny like really like changes the game for him. So I think that that's really fun and cool to explore. Takahiro like is definitely like now starting to have to deal with feelings and things, not just by smashing them. Like I think it really was typified not just in like the Brandon scene, but the Miss Jasper scene, like short and sweet, but really good because it shows that like Takahiro is like growing and evolving. And then wow, who knew that Scarlet could flirt? Like that whole scene with like Kem and Scarlet, I was just like, wow, okay, like get it, girl, like go for it. So that was fantastic to see her also grow through that. I also just appreciate that I finally get to be like my messy scheming self through whatever new character is here now. So that's great. For wishes, oh, I can't wait for the scene where you all discover that I'm the one leading the disciplinary hearing. Like, I also like have like the perfect thing that I'm gonna ask Takahiro to make sure that like you really want to be here. So like I'm like waiting like with anticipation for the next session. So that's really, really fun. And then just I also can't wait to like delve more into like this mystery that we've developed with Arakawa and like start to like really like excavate that. Like I want to know like what happened in the last class. So that's it for me.
Nice. This is dynamite for me. So good. The characters are so strong, and the things all of you push on are so much fun to play with. So thank you all very much. I'm going to stop the recording.